And welcome back to the Kiosk Presents. I'm Steve, and I am here today with James Cromwell, who plays Clifton in The Artist. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
You played a lot of very interesting roles throughout your career, from Babe to a bunch of Star Trek, Sum of All Fears. You have a mad inventor type stick that you tend to play a lot. Oh, you're the inventor of warp drive in Star Trek, and you were the inventor of AI in iRobot. It just seems to you sort of fall into that sort of role, but it's very different from the role you play in The Artist.
Very. But you didn't. I actually played chauffeur. I've now played two chauffeurs, so I sort of have that market as well.
Okay. Well, can you tell us a little bit about Clifton in The Artist?
Clifton is the chauffeur to a very big movie star like the Brad Pitt of today, an actor named George Valentine. And George Valentine is a very, very successful movie star at the advent of sound, and he resists going into sound. We don't know for what reason. He does not want to make the transition into sound. He still believes that silent pictures can tell the story just as well. He puts all his money into a silent picture of his own, which fails, and the stock market crashes and he's ruined. And his chauffeur, Clifton, stays with him through all these tribulations until George, after not having paid him for about a year, fires him, and Clifton goes to work for George's girlfriend, and Clifton and the girlfriend and George's dog save him, and he finds another way to express himself as an artist.
Well, I definitely think the medium of the silent film that they use throughout the movie is a very interesting way to tell a story, and the fact that they're still using it now sort of argues for his point that it can be an effective medium. Was it difficult to jump into silent as opposed to the standard films that you've been doing up till now?
Well, it is interesting. You know, film is 90% visual. There's, of course, dialogue, and we have gotten used to, as an audience, having the director focus our attention on the leading actor who is in close-up and whose lips are moving, and we can hear the sound in our ears, which is telling us where the story is going, so much so that now, with the advent of these smartphones, people can actually be on their smartphones while they're listening to the picture if they have to do text, because the film demands nothing of them. It shows them what it wants them to see. It projects what it wants them to hear. In The Artist, the audience creates the narrative, the story, from the information that they get inside the frame. And if they want to follow the story, which they do, they have to watch very carefully. They mustn't miss any of the clues, which is what makes the film so engaging and entertaining. As an actor doing the film, it's not much different than doing a regular film. We're speaking dialogue, we're hearing each other. The only difference is it's not being recorded. And because it's not being recorded, the director can play music, or the dog handler can give commands, and there's no problem with the final image.
So it's a little more forgiving, if anything.
It is a little more forgiving. It takes, it's like speaking before a large group of people. To reach the back of the house is not a matter of raising the volume of your voice. It's an intention. And I think the film demands a greater specificity and a greater focus and intentionality on the part of the actor and the director. And I think that's what we've accomplished in this film, and that's why I think the audience reacts to it. They do not get lost. They are drawn into the story because every action is clear and specific and adds to the telling of the story.
So it's more carefully crafted than other movies that are currently being produced.
That is correct. I believe that this picture is a work of art, and it is a work of art. That is one of the reasons it is a work of art, because the care and precision with which it's crafted.
Well, how was it like acting on it compared to, say, just any of your talking roles? Was there more personal interaction between you and the other actors there? Did you get to crack jokes while you were reading lines? Did you have any extra fun because it was silent and they weren't recording it?
No, I wouldn't say it's extra fun. I mean, it's for me. Now, it's different for me as the chauffeur than it is for Jean as the movie star. Jean has to play a character in a film, like myself. But he also has to be a movie star. That's a slightly altered. That's the public persona of his character. And then he has to act in a silent film. That's another representation of his character and another acting style. So he has to hold those three different levels. In terms of what the experience was like on the set, as I said, we're talking to each other, and the scene, say, when he tells me that the stock market has crashed and they're ruined unless the picture is a success. Really, all I have to do is respond to what I know is in store for him and the pathos of the moment. No different than I would be if I was doing a contemporary film.
Very interesting. Now, your character is very loyal, it seems, from the little bit I saw so far. I'm definitely going to get out to the theater and see more, but your character seems to be very loyal to the main character in the film.
He is. One of the things that sets this film apart is these characters are not only true to the period, they are unique. There is a total lack of cynicism and coolness and separation and distance. These are people engaged with each other, open to each other, vulnerable to each other, expressive with each other, and therefore expressive, open, and available to us as an audience.
James, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you on the Kiosk Presents. If you're ever down in Buffalo, come by and see us. We'll take you out for buffalo wings.
Thanks. I'm a vegan.
All right. All right, we'll take you out for soy buffalo wings.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for joining us on the Kiosk Presents.